Knock this shit out.
Yep. It's about that time again. Y'all already know what's up, man. Welcome to the world of the verbalist one. You're now tuned in. This is the Verbal Underground. And as always, co-host up in the building, VQ Margin. What's up, man? Talk to the people.
Man, y'all know what it is. Straight like that. Word is fine. We back in the building, man. BQ Margin, the verbalist, everything subject to change. The Verbal Underground, all powered by verbal marketing, man. But we here. It's been a minute, so we're gonna talk to y'all real nice and smooth. We're gonna make love to y'all and shit. You know what I mean?
No Diddy, you know what I'm saying? But it's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you
All
without a dope pod to step to. All that fly shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, it's been a while, bro, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, first and foremost, shout out to the people. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We are officially in season 5. We're gonna be doing a lot more live stream content. We was behind the scenes before we did this live, and we was talking about all the good stuff we're gonna be cooking up for the people. Everything brand new. Everything brand new. You get a pod, you get an episode, you get a flyer, you get a service. Like, you know, like being VQ Margin, we got mad things to cook up. But you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, tell them how you feel about season 5, bro. We back in the building.
You know, I'm gonna put it to you like this, man. What you about to tap into, it's gonna be thought invoking. What you about to tap into, it's gonna be speechless. What you tap into, man, only the blind man saw before you niggas was able to see it today. So, with that being said, you went for a whole bunch of unknown, unsuspected, and all types of over-the-top intel that you gotta catch if your name ain't Antonio Brown. If it's not, it's all right. You just listen to it again, and then you eventually hold on to it. You know what I mean? That's just how we getting down now. Straight like that, word is fine. You know what I mean?
Straight like that. And yeah, man. Also, I want to give a special thank you to everybody that has been reaching out to me or the verbal marketing platform from Black Magic 363 channel. We love Brother Rich. Shout out to him. Shout out to Pillars. Shout out to 19 Keys. Shout out to my man's in there, Professor Griff. I still love you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my new friends too, man. I want to give a special shout out to the goddess Wendy. Shout out to Wendy. Y'all go check out her Substack, man. She got some dope content in regards to hip hop. I'm gonna be speaking with her later this week in regards to a new article she put out with the Young Thug fiasco. So, you know, we gonna be definitely tapping into that. We gotta let that simmer because I don't know. It seems like every day it's a new leak with Young Thug hating on somebody. So we gonna let that simmer for a couple more days before we cook that episode up. But shout out to the homegirl. Man, yeah. Yo, they calling it Rat Atlanta now. I got to get up out of here, man. I can't be associated with such logic, man. They calling this shit Rat Atlanta. Like, what you think about that?
Hey, man, you there now, B? You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even gonna say it. It's hey, it don't matter what city you go to, man. It don't matter what city you go to. The rodents is always around. It just depends on the size, so you can determine. But now the rodents is in strong force down there right now. You know what I'm saying? Strong force rodents.
Yeah, I seen some shit today, man. So if I'm keeping count, I seen Thug 21 Savage. I seen Gucci Man today. I think Lil Durk name was addressed. Gunna, he's always been, you know, candidate number 1 for the disc. Man, it's just like every day, man, it's a new name being attached to some tomfoolery with the boy Young Thug. So
Black Hollywood,
huh? Hey, man, I don't even think Tyler Perry can write a script this good, man.
You're right.
Like from I sat and watched that whole YSL trial last summer, man. That shit was like morning, you know, afternoon and nighttime entertainment. I sat and watched that whole trial transpire and to see a year later, this is what it ballooned into. Like this is
Yep.
some Emmy writing shit. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't produce this with Scorsese's mind. You know what I'm saying? Like this is gold right there. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for the Young Thug concepts coming down the pipeline, man. But yeah, shout out to the homegirl Wendy. We're gonna be starting with her blog, and then we're gonna roll that into the live stream for the Young Thug episode. So if you are any of the followers and you got any interest in joining the panel for that discussion, leave it in the comment or as you see on the banner, hit me up at verbalunderground at verbal-marketing.com, and you can contact us that way as well. So, Marjorie, man, any other first thoughts you want to get into, like things that's going on today before we hop into the main subject?
Man, I got hella first thoughts, but if I start getting into them, we ain't never gonna get into the topic. So let's get straight into it.
All right, all right. Well, we can save it for the end of the episode. That way, it can be like precursor to what's coming next. How about that?
All right, bet.
All right. Well, let's speak about it, man. The National Guard in Chicago, safety or stunt. First and foremost, I want to invite everybody to visit all the social media platforms. Don't matter where you're at, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you know where we at, live and direct, TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Anything that your favorite in regard to social platforms, type in verbal marketing and check out the content in regards to the National Guard in Chicago, safety or stunt. And I also want to invite you guys as well, just in case you don't do the social thing, to visit the website www.verbal-marketing.com. Hit the verbalism tab all the way over there in your right corner, and you'll find this latest article, which we're going to walk through today. So I don't know if you're being hiding under a rock, or you know what I'm saying, like politics ain't your cup of tea, or if you got the name Donald Trump muted within your algorithm. But hey, it is what it is. That's what we talking about today, man. I believe the first city this year that got introduced to the National Guard was Los Angeles when they had the riots with the ice sprays and everything. You remember that, Marjorie?
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, along that same time frame was the BET Awards. And I seen a lot of y'all favorite entertainers. I'm gonna say y'all because they ain't mine. I seen a lot of y'all favorite entertainers cooning at the BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? Talking a lot about,
Man.
what a protest is supposed to and supposed to not look like. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I heard the word peaceful a lot, but then when because me and Marjorie, we like to tap into the streets. But when I tap into the streets, so I talk to the people, I seen a lot of rocks throwing, and I seen a lot of flames ablazing, and I seen a lot of, foreign flags waving, and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so the National Guard came in LA and kind of cleaned some things up, and it's kind of been low key quiet. You been hearing any like rowdy news coming out of LA since National Guard came through?
Nah. And that's the crazy part, man. I'm like, all right, National Guard there. Yo, I'm all right. I'm gonna keep 100 and shit. If you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Because I know we got a lot of new subscribers in the building. Because you might not have if you ain't go back, Philly
Shout out to
born,
y'all.
you know what I'm saying? Philly born, but you know what I'm saying, earthly present. You feel me? And for all the tough talk, you know what I mean, that the streets put out there, rather be Philly, rather be any other major city out here. Now we speaking specifically on Los Angeles, guys. You know what it is, guys. You know what it is, Mark, all that, right? Just because another nigga showed up with a gun, I thought your shit had bigger guns. I thought your shit was so big, my gat's so big looking, boy. Why we still ain't outside? You see what I'm saying? It brings a lot of questions into not only you individuals like that was talking that, but it also brings questions to, is what we were hearing from Uncle Sam really the real red tape of what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just smoke? That's where it puts me at in the mindset of, you know what I'm saying, questioning a lot of things, questioning a lot of entities on what is and what isn't. You heard?
Nah, straight like that, man. And then you know what? I seen most stories about people safely like, eating marathon burgers. Shout out to Nipsey. Then I seen anything about crime. So I don't know, man. Like, if you're from the LA County, y'all leave it in the chat or leave it in the comment after the video. Let me know what's the neck of the woods looking like in LA, man. Is the National Guard still out there? Is it been a net positive or a net negative within, your neighborhood or your overall thoughts about it? We definitely want to talk to you. And
But
while you over there, you know what I'm saying, make sure you visit the website, get you a Verbalism Los Angeles t-shirt. We got them in Lakers colors and we got the LA Rams colors coming. It's football
yeah.
season, baby. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, my LA brethren.
Now I would say this though. Take it how
Talk
you
to me.
may. Now, I mean, what y'all niggas got to protect, or what do y'all niggas have to destroy when everything caught on fire? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? No. That's a valid point because let's speak about it. Like, listen, we can go all the way back to the Rodney King days, right? Where we just been witnessing quote unquote melanated communities burning their own shit down. To this day, I'll never understand it, but you kind of have a point there, man. If we too busy burning down, or you know what, like for my 10 hat folks, you know what I'm saying? We got AKA the Antifas and the agents of chaos that's not from these areas coming within these areas, these provocateurs, you know what I'm saying? Like these paid actors coming into your neighborhood and you allowing them to tear down because they out there throwing the fist up, but they got the mask on. You don't know who's on under that mask. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It could be some agitators out there that's making it worse than what it needs to be. But yeah, man, that has kind of always been a story for decades now. We burn down our communities. We don't really have the resources to build them back up per se. And then, we become crime infested. We don't have the monetary support, whether that's from city, state, or federal government, because they looking at it like it's no businesses there. And then, prior to us starting the episode, what we was speaking on, like, it's not even a lot of motivation within the Black community to discuss business. We're more so into discussing the goofiness, the tomfoolery, the carnage. Yeah, we're more into talking about that than we is into talking about solutions, which is I'm pretty sure some of my quote unquote followers from Black Magic 363 channel already got a glimpse into my mindset in regards to what I think about that type of shit. So yeah, let's speak on that real quick. About 30 seconds if you can, man. What do you think about us tearing our shit down, but at the same time, got our tin cup out begging for assistance for neighborhoods that we tore down?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you like I told some of my Philadelphians over here. You know what I mean? Because the block tends to use this word gentrification, and then because we call it gentrification because the European is now moving in. But I say no, it's not gentrification. It's just business. Because when I'm gonna just talk, it's verbal underground. So when you niggas had it, you know what I'm saying, and y'all had that white magic, that red magic, that green magic, it was on the block with it. Okay. After that time has passed, y'all didn't take the time to capitalize and purchase what you were moving your product out of. You was worried about the next product shipment and getting it and distributing it instead of setting up a foothold. Your product then devalued the neighborhood. So you were the first one to see the devaluation, and you was the first one to actually see how much it would actually cost to purchase and make. But you said, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna get the next AMG, a 2025 AMG. You see what I'm saying? And now you upset that the person outside of town came in and bought some shit for the low when you made it for the low. That right there in itself, that's to me, that's psycho, nigga. Like you niggas, you need a therapist because you don't burn down some shit, then leave it, and then complain that it was burnt down when you burnt it down, and you also had that ability to refurbish it. You see what I'm saying? For the longest time, the European wouldn't come into your neighborhood, right? Because it was your neighborhood. But now, when did it turn to not to be your neighborhood? When you let it go. So when you mismanage your shit and you mismanage your location, you niggas at that point in time, y'all wasn't mismanaging your corner, you wasn't mismanaging your block. Rather it be Philly, rather it be LA, rather it be the Wire. The Wire taught niggas everything, really, if you really want to get down to it. You didn't mismanage your block.
25th anniversary of the Wire right now, too, believe it or not. So y'all had a quarter of a decade. Yep.
Damn, shout out Michael B. Jordan. Shit, you feel me?
True that. RIP Michael Williams.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, no, I don't want to hear you go crying to the same people that I don't want to hear you go crying to nobody when you had the opportunity before everybody, because you was boots on the ground to actually take heed. So I don't want to hear that crying. No, Charlie this, Charlie that. I don't know no Charlie. Yeah, we miss our Uncle Charles, y'all. Y'all just let it go to what it go to. You know what I'm saying?
Only Charlie I know is Charlie Clips, man.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, or Charlie Wilson. What are you talking about?
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't. That's where I stand at with it. I don't want to hear no complaints about nothing because y'all had first dibs and y'all didn't take it. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that.
Nah, straight bars. Well, you know what? That's LA for you. Now let's travel to the East Coast, man. We're gonna hop in this ride and travel to the East Coast. Washington, DC. This was maybe 2-3 weeks ago. This was the hot topic then. You know, now let's get this established now because, you know, a lot of people are not in the know. You know, Washington, DC, it is a federal district that, you know, presents a face as an American city. Am I right in that aspect?
I'm like, no, go ahead, because then I'm gonna chime in. I'm gonna say my piece. Once you go ahead, bust
that. So you know what? Like, let's push that to the side. Like, on top of that, you know, it is also the home of the White House and the president. Like, that's a fact, right? Now, despite how you feel about whoever may be in office or who's currently sitting in that seat, whether that's Republican or Democrat, last time I checked, America, the United States of America, the corporation, you know, to this day, we're still viewed globally as the leader of the free world. Am I correct in that logic?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we're number one, and you know, this is the base, and you know, the capital is the operations center.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could be jumping off the deep end with my logic. You stop me from jumping if I go too far in the pool, right? But like,
I like the way you put that better than calling it a city. I like the way you put that right there.
Yeah. So like, you know, if this is the case, home should be organized, clean, and secure. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, it should be. Like you said, it should be.
Now, if I'm the owner of my home and I take pride in my home and I'm trying to protect myself from outsiders, whether that's foreign or domestic, from entering my home, the first thing I should probably do is clean up and get my security measures in place. Is that a fair assessment to you?
Facts. If I move into a new crib, I want to make sure all the doors locked and shit. Make sure all my loins and whoever I may be dealing with at the time, the secure, safe. Make sure the German Shepherd is alert. He know which door niggas don't let the niggas in. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
All right, all right. So we tracking, right? So let me do this better. Let's say on top of all this let's call it basic needs, all these basic foundations. On top of all that, I have an armory. And I don't just have like a little 22 in the shotgun, you know what I'm saying? Not like no, I have the works.
Okay.
I have personnel, I have boots, I have able bodies, I have, grenades and rocket launchers and tanks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to clean something up or if I want to secure something, it shouldn't be that difficult, right?
No, it shouldn't be. It's your shit. It's your
Ma-
lawn.
My man. Now let me ask you this then. Would I be a hypocrite if I'm in my house, you know what I'm saying, yelling at you to your house in Philly saying, yo, Margin, you know what I'm saying, you looking crazy over there. You need to clean up this, that, and the third. I'm telling you all about your shit and how you need to tighten up. But my yard looking like a mess or even worse of a mess than your yard. Would that make me hypocritical?
Yeah, it do. It make it hypocritical from outside looking in for sure. You know what I'm saying?
So you know, as a realist, it will only be logical for me to clean up my backyard before I go talk about somebody else's backyard. So I think this is kind of, you know, a foundation base that a lot of people are failing to grasp, yet alone stand upon in regards to, hey, whether you like them, hate them, loathe them, love them, it doesn't matter. Washington, D.C. is the capital of America. And you need to fortify this land, especially when we're having war talks. When we're having like leaders from Russia and China and uh, North Korea and all of these usual suspects. We got disputes with Mexico currently in regards to the cartels. We got peace treaties we trying to negotiate with Ukraine, and like we doing all this talking with all these other power players in the world stage. We talking shit at the UN, telling everybody to pay their dues and everything. But we're giving power for some outsider to walk up to me as numero uno, the president, i.e., and tell me, hey man, don't talk to me when Washington, D.C. got more bodies than Baghdad.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know. I could be just throwing shit at the wall, trying to see what sticks. We lie, baby. We trying to get back to the mix. We just figuring it out. We just talk. We just talking.
Hey,
But
hey,
that's what it kind of was. So
it
Trump
don't-
pushed the button. He said, "Hey, what's her name out there? Bowser, the mayor. I think Mayor Bowser. Hey, we don't care about none of that. What you talking about? National Guard is here. They sent the troops out into the streets. They did their thing for a couple of weeks. On episode 1, it's a video. Y'all can see when they went into quote unquote the projects up in there. Y'all can see some of the chaos that was being displayed, and how I was trying to tell people like, hey, we're making ourselves targets for these type of enforcement entities, the three-letter boys, whether that's FBI, DEA, ICE, ATF. You know what I'm saying? Pick a crew. They came through to see you. And that's what it was. So they came through, they did their sweeps. Remember back in the day, it used to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, the feds was coming, you knew not to be in the streets.
You knew not to go outside. Yeah, I mean,
Like blue pill and brother Rich, they want me to start referring to using the term YN. Hey, I didn't invent this shit, but we all know what it means when I say it. But the YNs today, they don't really have a clue. They don't got no coaching. They ain't got no chiefs. They ain't got no protocols. They ain't got no literature. They ain't got no backbone. You know what I'm saying? They too busy at H&M buying the latest skirt. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's for another episode though.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's for another episode. We'll get to that. But Yeah, like so they came through and they did the raids, and I seen the mayor of DC come out last week, and she had to give Trump praise. She had to like let it be known, like, hey, the streets is quiet, the streets is clean. Carjackings is down 80%, murders is down like 50, 60%. Like the numbers was like astronomical, bro. Like you for Chocolate City, I couldn't believe it. So what you thought about, you know what I'm saying, the let let the left wing media tell you the invasion the invasion of DC and the effects weeks later after the fact. What you thought about DC?
Yo, first I'm gonna give a big shout out to Mayor Bowser and shit. You know what I mean? If you get lonely, holla at your boy. You got some things to talk about. You know what I mean? That short bob haircut.
Okay.
I'm feeling you.
Okay.
Anyway, lace back
Shout
to the front,
outs.
lead that stuff on. Anyways, we slide that in there off rip. You feel me? But
Yo, you see that?
yeah. So, but after that, right? It's
Uh-huh.
more so. It's more so like a
My brother might be having technical difficulty real quick. But while I got y'all here, I want y'all to once again hit up your social media, your favorite social media platforms, type in verbal marketing, and we're on all platforms. Don't matter which one you're using. Type in verbal marketing, and you'll be able to stay in tune with all the latest verbal underground content that's coming your way. If you're interested in joining the panel, email me at dash email me at verbalunderground at verbal-marketing.com, or you can leave it in the comment and I'll get back to you. But while my brother's loading up, let's go ahead and like tap into what happened over Chicago this past weekend. Y'all check this out.
A deadly Labor Day weekend in Chicago as President Trump continues to set his eye on the city, threatening to send in the National Guard as early as this week. At least 52 people have been shot in Chicago over the Labor Day weekend. 7 of those victims died.
The violence included 3 mass shootings that happened at Haddon in California, in Chicago's Humboldt Park neighborhood, and 2 in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, 35th and State and 36th and Cottage Grove. ABC 7's Jasmine Miner talked to people in Bronzeville about concerns about 2 mass shootings happening within 48 hours.
Many here in Bronzeville describe the neighborhood as on the come up, and they say they're not going to let the violence stop the positive work they're doing. For one woman, that means keeping kids healthy, active, and on the field.
We gonna push through because it disservices the kids.
Alexis Hawthorne, owner of the top-tier university football youth program, says even gun violence won't keep her from serving kids in need. Their practice comes just a few hours and down the road from a mass shooting early this morning. 5 people were shot near 36th and Cottage Grove near Ellis Park, including a 17-year-old who is in critical condition.
At the end of the day, to have one person that was critically injured and 4 folks in the hospital, whatever the situation was, it was senseless.
It is the second mass shooting in Bronzeville in the last 48 hours. The other happened on Saturday night near 35th and State, where 7 people were hurt during a drive-by. Those like Alderman Pat Howell are taking action, telling ABC 7 in a statement, "I have long asked for additional police manpower to deal with large illegal gatherings and pop-up parties that routinely occur throughout the Bronzeville neighborhood."
All right, we're gonna stop it right there. Margin, you back?
that was this past weekend.
That was this past weekend. But before we jump into this, you want to wrap up your DC thoughts?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna start somewhere real foundational. real foundational, that we all learned elementary school. DC, Washington, DC, it's not a state nor a city. It's a nation state. It's a nation state. Just like the Vatican is a nation state. It doesn't belong to any other country. It doesn't belong to any nation. It belongs to itself. So when we think of Washington, D.C., it's a about 10 mile radius, rather be square, rather be circle, however they bust it down. I think it's square, actually, right? So it's its own entity. So with it being its own entity, with a president among that entity, the president in that manner has the control of that 10 by 10. So when I sit here and I look at the mayor, I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm digging your style. Let me lick my lips. You know what I'm saying? Adjust my eyebrows.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna look at you and say it's not yours. You may be the face, you may be the one that has that, but it's not a state nor a city. So therefore, your authority over it, you just really just place holding until the ball get back. You know what I mean? And that ain't no disrespect, it's just what it is. So if that's what we was taught off rip, no matter how much crime that may take place there or don't take place there, it's only allowed due to the one that's running the set. You see what I'm saying? In this essence, it just be the president who's running the set. So if he wants to call in the National Guard boys to run down on you, then guess what? He's gonna call them up. That's his front lawn, his back lawn, and both his side lawns. You feel me? 10 by 10 miles. That's a big fucking gap. So when we start getting into the discussion of authority, or we getting into the discussion of who's the shot caller, which is authority again, or is it right or is it wrong? It's the same, because at that point in time, it's his or theirs, if you want to say, because it's a team, it's a regime that's running that. In the United States of America, that's who's running that. So, no, just like we as individuals in our own home gotta mow our own grass when it's time to mow it. Look, winter almost here, so I know everybody mowing their lawn for like probably the last time or so, or maybe the second to last time before winter hit. You mowing your front lawn, you mowing your backyard, you trimming your hedges, you making sure everything is what it's going to be, so it don't look all crazy when spring come around. So you can't knock another individual for taking care of their lawn, even though their lawn may be destroyed by outside entities. So we got to push the entities out. No different than, if your lawn got infested, you got mad weeds, you going to spray that joint. So now he put the National Guard there to spray them joints if y'all want to come that way. But we clearly see that nobody wants to test a National Guard or anybody of that, let's say, military capacity in a sense. So when it comes down to this right here, I'm gonna sum it up. I see both sides of it. I comprehend both sides, right? But I'm really sitting with the folks to open your eyes, because the way that y'all are viewing it is not from the perspective of comprehension that you were taught. You're only going off over the emotion. You're only going off of things that you may think of or how it should be. You know what I'm saying?
Emotional ass niggas.
Instead of how it is. And how it is what you was taught it is. And how it is what you learned how it is, because most of y'all now is mature enough, have reached that adulthood and beyond, even into your elderism, to acknowledge for what it is. But if you still want to be in denial and say you should go back to X, Y, and Z, then you have to sit in your denialism, sit in your blindhood, sit in your bird box. As the rest of us sit here and go, all right, let's now adjust and make whatever moves we need to make, because everything's subject to change, and that's how we got to apply it. When it changes, we then see how it benefits us, and then we apply what we need to apply to reap the repercussions of what can be ours. See what I'm saying? Nah, that's how it goes down.
Nah, that's powerful talk right there. And like, you know what? And to, piggyback a little bit into my next thoughts, especially for the melanated community, that's where a lot of you guys are getting trampled at in regards to the whole logic of understanding the concepts of what's going on right in front of your face. So you guys are too emotional. You guys are too worried about picking a side. Yo, you team red or you team blue. You should be team you, stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or at
Yeah,
least
man.
be team your neighborhood or team your household or team your family
Okay.
members. Y'all too busy trying to hate on Trump for no reason, or y'all too busy trying to cry about what Kamala would have been doing if she made it. Like she would have been any better. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like,
Diddy party.
oh, don't get them started.
Said that out
But you
loud.
know what
My
I'm
bad.
saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But man, listen, because you said they should be mature enough. But I beg to differ, to be honest with you. I think a lot of these people are in their second childhoods. Some of them are looking at these boomer niggas like, they in their third childhoods. Like, they
Mhm.
got the same emotional capacity that they, graduated high school with. And then they wonder why other cultures, i.e., the Indian man, the white man, the Mexican man, the, Asian man, why they don't take them serious. I don't ever
Mhm.
see these kind of conversations taking place up in their neighborhood. Hey man, have you seen one video yet of an Indian saying, "I don't want the National Guard coming to my area"?
Nope. But I got but yet again, I don't want you to answer it because we can circle back around it.
We
What the
will.
fuck is the Indian?
Oh man, yeah, leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, that's for another episode and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is an Indian? Let's keep it 100. So I
Well, we in
digress on that.
agreement. Yeah, we in agreement on DC then, right? Like it looks like despite how they tried to paint the picture within the media, it ultimately ended up becoming a W for the Trump administration, right?
I think that's only by default because it was going to happen regardless. I don't
There you go.
like when we start thinking about all right, when we start thinking about the DMV, all right, yeah, I said it like that. I said it like y'all said. When we start thinking about the DMV, do we really think about oh yeah, all of the shit we seen in The Wire happens in DC? No, nigga, that was Baltimore. That's Maryland. You know what I'm saying? That's Maryland.
DMV.
Yes, right. But it's three places in there: DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And out of all of the shit, when we think of all of the when we think of all of the activity that can take place in any urban neighborhood, right? We do not think of DC. You only think of Baltimore. You think of Maryland. You barely even think of Virginia until Pusha T and No
Yeah, I'm
Limits
about to
come.
say they ain't thinking about they ain't thinking about Virginia to the Cliff dropped the album.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, ain't shit to do but cook in Virginia. That's what they said. So you niggas make me some biscuits and serve that product. Ain't nothing to
Oh
do
man.
but cook in Virginia. And that's what y'all said. That's what y'all said. I'm just repeating it. But when we think about them things, it's not in DC. So when like this whole tide of DC got a whole bunch of shit going. No. We all know cities where, and you know for sure, if you cross, you can be in the south side of Chicago and then cross one street and be out of Chicago city limits. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Philly,
my father's household is near one of the southwest border. So like, I can take a 5-minute drive from my father's house and cross from south side to Chicago into Oak Lawn, Bridgeview, them type of areas.
See what I'm saying? But people they ain't gonna mention that. They're gonna go from Chicago, they're gonna go all the way to Gary. They skip the in-between shit. So when we think about Maryland and DC, there's in-between shit. That in-between shit is Maryland. Shit happens in Maryland and it stays in Maryland. As for policing and doing those things, yeah, if police is in the Walmart parking lot You don't go commit a crime across the street from Walmart. You see what I'm saying? So it's just it's not, to me, it's not a trickle down effect, because niggas wasn't running up on, you know who ran down on the Capitol? Or you know what I'm saying? Those wasn't niggas. Right. Where was the National Guard then? They literally ran down.
They said Nancy Pelosi told them to stop, but they still keep blaming Trump for some reason. I seen this video.
Hold on. Let's keep this 100, right? The National Guard, Marine Corps, Army, Air Force, Space Force, they don't move without a word. They don't They don't move without somebody saying go. So
gotta get that authorization.
So don't tell me, Nancy, that they was ready to go. They always ready to go.
No. Like, according to the links, that I got, and for all you liberals, calm down, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no diss, it just is what it is. It's on camera. Like, sue me, you know what I'm saying? Nah, fuck that. Sue Nancy. You know what I'm saying? On January 6th, matter of fact, on January 5th, Trump had put out a message out there saying, hey, we have an understanding that it might get a little rowdy tomorrow. So, Nancy Pelosi, which I believe she's over the committee that gives the green light for the DC National Guard. How she got that power, don't know, but that's the politics. So Trump had to put the word in to Nancy, yo, Nancy, might get a little hectic tomorrow for the January 6th thing. So let's go ahead and, get the National Guard on standby, blah, 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 right? Nancy is on camera in a documentary. And the funny thing I found funny about this, Nancy Pelosi's daughter is the one responsible for the documentary. So don't get mad at me, liberals. Get mad at Nancy Pelosi's daughter for dry snitching on her mom. Nancy Pelosi's on camera saying, nah, we ain't sending no National Guard out there to DC. You know what I'm saying? Forget Trump. Forget what he's talking about. You need to get up out of the White House, blah, blah, blah. So January 5th, she didn't give the green light for National Guard to be on standby at the Capitol. So then what happened on January 6th is what you saw. And then that's when they tried to put it on Trump following, yo, this is all your fault. You incited a riot, this and the third. But, it's documented that he, via paperwork and, this camera evidence, requested it. He can't green light something he don't have authorization over, but they conveniently keep neglecting that part. I just find it funny. The January 6th thing is still a thing to this day.
Here's the spin. Here's the spin, right? Because it is in his authority to call that shot. Federal law.
Well, you gotta remember, he was out the door at this time. He got voted out. It's Billy's turn.
True that. It would have been
my bad. Joey's turn. Yeah, it's Joey's turn. Right. So that's why Nancy had that power, because he out.
Yeah.
Now referring to what you talking about now he can do it, and you see he pushing that button now, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's fast forward, because we don't want to get stuck on DC. DC is over with. We in Chicago now. We head into a neighborhood near you. So we got live streams for all you bitches. whatever major city you live in, ran by a Democrat, we got a live stream coming for your town.
On your top.
Trump got a hit list, checking it twice. And speaking about checking it twice, during Trump's first term, Chicago stayed in the news in regards to threats from him regarding the National Guard. But he never pulled the trigger. Remember? He never pulled the trigger. This time around, checking his list, he checked it twice. And now, I think the last time around, either Rahm Emanuel or Lori Lightfoot was in the building. I can't remember at this particular moment, but it was some shit talking back then, yo, you ain't coming to Chicago, blah, 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 blah. But now with, Mayor Dum Dum Brandon Johnson and, big boy Pritzker, they have done themselves no good deeds in regards to just the constant violence, especially over holiday weekends. I just showed the clip, not too long ago, in regards to the violence that took place uh, over the holiday weekend, right? Labor Day. They saying
Mhm.
we had at least the last reported numbers I seen, it was 54 people shot, 9 dead. And that was around like noon on Monday. So the holiday wasn't even halfway over. You know what I'm saying? And like we already had 9 confirmed bodies hit the ground. And then, I stopped it at this quote in that video I was showing because check this out. This is Alderman Pat Dowell of the Third Ward. And he's saying, I have long asked for additional police manpower to deal with large illegal gatherings and pop-up parties that routinely occur throughout the Bronzeville neighborhood. Now, this is an alderman speaking. This is somebody that we can say that quote unquote got boots on the ground, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But you got the mayor Brandon Johnson and the governor J.B. Pritzker, who walks with security, who don't come to the South Side, who don't really like go into the trenches of the West Side. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't got a clue. And these are the people that's jumping in front of your media and telling the sheeple that hey, ain't nothing to see here. Everything's good. Matter of fact, crime is down. We're gonna discuss that in a minute, but here you have a actual alderman that's in the city that's saying, "Yo, we need help." And you think Trump don't see stuff like this? And that gives him incentive to be like, "Hey, listen, the people need me," because that's what they'll say. They'll be like, "Oh, well, why do they think Chicago needs the National Guard?" Because you got elected officials saying, "Yo, somebody help me." We
Yeah.
got pop up parties. I don't know if you know. Well, you in Philly, you in a major city, like in Chicago. This how it works, right? You got a couple of let's say you got somebody like fairly popular, young bull, 100,000 followers or whatever. They just do they him, right? And they just random on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, yo, pop up, man. Let's meet up at 69th and State Street. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it went from quiet as kept to about 1,000 people on your block out of nowhere.
Mhm.
How do you police that? How do you plan for that? How do you combat that? You can't. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you understaffed as a police department.
Oh my God. Shit.
Yeah, your detectives ain't doing clearance rates on the murders from last week, yet alone the new bodies that's popping up this week. You know
Oh
what I'm
my God.
saying?
You don't want to hear that shit.
We got to get the fire departments involved to clean up the blood off the street because we ain't got the manpower.
Nah.
I got single moms crying over my son was a good boy and he
Nah.
got shot for no reason, man. What you think?
Fuck all,
Go ahead.
fuck all that. When I hear Alderman telling me that you need help and shit, but yet again
Okay.
a nigga, but yet again a motherfucker could send in we having a block party request and you can block and then you authorize the block to be blocked off. Or when somebody calls you up and tells you that they're gonna put on a protest, rather it be Melanated Lives Matter or the KKK joint, and you can send your mans out there to hold that down. You mean to tell me you can't send your mans to hold up some shit that just popped up? We're not saying go out there and it's a party. So we're not saying go out there and crack niggas in their head because it's a party. We say going out there and maintain order. Let them niggas know, pop up, show up with your joints on, and be like, oh yeah, y'all better chill out, or we got something for y'all. You can't tell me that's not in your ability to do, because you never sent the SWAT out there. You see what I'm saying? You never deployed niggas with the black truck that's standing on the side of that motherfucker while it's going 50 miles per hour, and then when it stopped, they hop off like, yeah, y'all know what it is. Stretch Viper, stand back. I don't want to hear none of that. You see what I'm saying? Like if
they
you
wasn't
ain't taking
outside, man. You gotta chill.
nah, because if you ain't taking no action, don't tell niggas you need help. You see what I'm saying? Now they're gonna refer to, oh yeah, but the city, no. What I'm gonna keep it 100. What it tells me is that you the governor and you the mayor, y'all in the same fucking boat as the man in DC. Y'all niggas in cahoots. Y'all definitely creating a narrative and painting a picture that really isn't real. Y'all just painting a scenario to make other people outside of that place look at Chicago in such an uproar.
All right, well, you know what? We like visual.
What we call it?
Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, the term, but what did they used to call y'all niggas and still call y'all from time to time? Chirac.
Yeah, you know I hate that shit. I hate that shit.
When it really didn't fit. When it really didn't fit. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I don't want to hear none of that. Alderman need help, mayor need help. No, because y'all niggas ain't taking no actions to do that. Because in order for y'all to go, oh yeah, we need help, that means you went outside and you lost niggas. I didn't hear no boys being done. I ain't even hear the K9 dog getting shot. So I don't want none of that. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't make an effort, you talking about, oh, we having routine parties, nigga. See, now you get me.
Well, hold on. Let me, because we like visual arts over here. Hold on. So let me show you this. This is this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? This is just a glimpse of how chaotic it can get. Just a little bit. So, like, check it out. That's a 360. Can you see what's going on?
Yeah.
Now hold on. Let it spin one more time. Hold on. Let it spin real quick. I want to try and spot something for you.
All right. Now I'm zoomed in and shit.
Hold on. Right there. Now look, you see the crowd, right? You see the crowd, right? And I'm just going. Hold on. I'm just going to spot check it at like 500. We just gonna say 500. It look a little bit more, but we just gonna say 500.
Yeah, right? They fit.
Now. Hold on. Stay focused. Now, what I want to point out to you is the background. If you look way in the back, the police is already out there.
You see the blue? That's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas out there.
Hold on. It ain't just one spot though. They got the whole crowd surrounded. They back that way.
Mm-hmm.
They right there back that way. He spins it back around. So four corners. They on all four corners. They watching the chaos. Now, okay. So now I don't want to call it chaos just yet. I just corrected myself. I don't want to call that chaos because they ain't doing nothing. They out there, grooving. They doing their thing. I'm with it. I actually kind of wish I was out there that night. You know what I'm saying? With them. You know what I'm saying? That like Labor Day was cracking. But here's where the chaos comes into play. You know what I'm saying? That's a big crowd. You think everybody in that crowd got patted down or went through a metal detector or you know what I'm saying, ain't got the knife or the, you know what I'm saying, like the brass knuckles or the mace or, you know what I'm saying? Like you think it ain't some things to sneak in through the crowd up in there?
All right, and I'm gonna ask this too, because they got all that in that crowd. All that's in that crowd, no shot of a doubt. Now ask me how many people in that crowd is with that crowd or against it. How many people are, my bad, matter of fact, I'm gonna start using these niggas terms. How many people in that crowd is insurgents?
Man, listen, like I can just tell you from, my dwellings in the land, you know what I'm saying? Those are some homegrown niggas.
Those are homegrown niggas. Now, how many motherfuckers that we seen and not seen is insurgents? It's a lot of motherfuckers in that scene that we did not see. A lot of hooded individuals, a lot of individuals, unfamiliar faces, and a lot of people that's just staying very, very vigilant in that concept, in that crowd. You see now we can't even answer that question. There's no answer to that question. How many motherfuckers is insurgents? Or how many insurrections are in that crowd? You can't answer that. But we can acknowledge that it does exist. You see what I'm saying?
I can. I can,
Now
but I
we
also gotta acknowledge it's a lot of you know what I'm saying, drug addicts. It's a lot of, you know, agents of chaos that ain't got shit popping for themselves, hating niggas, hating
right.
bitches. You know what I'm
See what I'm
saying?
saying?
Like, you know, I gotta balance the scale if I may. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
every bad provocateur, I gotta like look at like, nah, it's just some goofies in the crowd too.
Facts. There's a little bit of everybody in there, John. And it only takes a little bit of the ops in there to cause that whole scene to go the other way. So you sitting outside of this motherfucker talking about you need more police manpower to deal with these large illegal gatherings. If they're
Right.
illegal, you have the ability to stop it right then and there because it's illegal. But you standing on the outside watching it as if this was a
But
Super Bowl
but
celebration.
that's the debate, right? How do you stop it if the police is out there and they can't do shit, or they don't want to do shit because maybe they fear their life, maybe they want to get home safe. You know what I'm
Want
saying? I
to.
can't be mad at no police for that. Or maybe they
What?
short-handed. Like, it might be about, out of 100 cops, it's only like 10 of them that's real. Like, man, I know little JoJo in there, man. Like, we can walk up on them. I just need to back up. And like, nah, we don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Is it
Well, if you know
possible
little
the
JoJo,
police fear
go.
their own community?
That's what I'm saying, B. Like even the conversation, the hypothetical conversation you just said, yo, I know little JoJo with them. Well, if you know little JoJo with them, go rap with them. That's what I'm saying. We
But
know
if,
niggas,
but if JoJo say, fuck niggas, it's Labor Day, get off the block, what you gonna say?
but that's the thing. JoJo, in that sense, no matter how aggressive that has just sounded to you or to us, nah, niggas Labor Day, fuck off the block. All I heard was, yo, we good, we trying to party, we ain't trying to do shit. You over here causing the issue. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And if
But
you
let's
know
say in that
little
same
JoJo,
vein. Let's say in that same vein real quick. All
if
right.
you the cop from the neighborhood and you already know little JoJo, right? Then you already know how to communicate with little JoJo and little JoJo know how to communicate with you. You see what I'm
If
saying?
you even know little JoJo, that was me giving a hypothetical. I don't think a lot of these police is like getting to know these people. I don't believe that.
No, you're right. No. I'm just using that as examples because out of all of that police force, if it's 100 policemen, there gotta be like you said, 10 from the neighborhood. That's a minimum. 10 from the neighborhood. And those individuals right there is the liaison. Because those are the ones that can comprehend what they see as in trouble or danger. Because they from their neighborhood. If I take Charlie Schwab from fucking Kankakee and put him in Chicago, everything to him is gonna look like danger, but it's really just niggas out there smoking weed. You see what I'm saying? Right. Hooded niggas smoking weed. The Charlie Schwab from Kankakee is danger to him because niggas don't smoke weed outside in Kankakee. I'm not.
Well, you know what? In this regard, the police is out there doing their job, quote unquote, right? They doing their job. They exactly where they supposed to be. They situated. Now let's speak on the other side of the coin. The hater in the crowd that fucks the party up for everybody. That, you know, oh, you talking to my bitch or you stepped on my shoes, some goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? He pull it out. Next thing you know, now we got 5 people shot, 2 dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're police. We already out there on the scene. We doing our best to maintain, keep it under control. We can't stop them. And it still, you know, ended up being a mess. Now what you do? You know what I'm saying? Like how can, if I'm Trump, how can you sit and tell me don't take this serious? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm within protocol. I ain't harassing nobody with my badge. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sparking the chaos. But still, he went to shit because, you know, little Randy got his feelings hurt because, you know, he got his girl taken that night. Now he want to shoot up the whole block party. Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the police supposed to do?
They call that something else. They call that they call that a foreseen circumstance that has no response to, because you can't dictate or predict when what you call him, little Jaheim?
Little Randy.
Little Randy snap out and shit. You see what I'm saying? You can't predict that. So therefore, that can't go into the account of things that can't go into the accountability of things because you can't call it. That's the shit you only can address in the moment. See what I mean? A gathering like this, you see the crowd, you see what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you, and even you want to go on the detective side of things. I ain't even want to talk about the beat cops. Let's talk about the detective side of things. As y'all sitting there and y'all some psychology detective ass niggas, you can see body language X, Y, and Z to display that to you from a distance. But you still can't even address that in the meantime because you may get that conflicted with niggas just having regular conversations. They was heated because the Eagles beat the fucking Bears and shit that weekend. So niggas just having a heated debate. You know what I'm saying?
The Eagles, nigga.
Yeah, you heard what I said. Anyway, from a distance, you can't determine if that's real shit or just a heated debate. But once Lil Randy, in this instance, pow, now it's time for you to. I ain't even gonna use the term. Now it's time for you to intervene. You see what I'm saying? Because it's happening in that spot. Now you go, oh shit, all these people out there, it's bound to be something to happen. That's why you're there, for that bound of shit to happen. That's what you respond to, because you can't control a crowd that big. You only can maintain it and keep it concentrated. If you got it concentrated, then you let the chaos happen within the concentration, and then you address it within there. See what I'm saying? So, you calling for help, but you outside already doing what you supposed to do, policing the shit. You see what I'm saying? That's why I started the shit off like, y'all like niggas is in cahoots painting a whole different picture that needs to be painted. And
that's different.
Honest, they painting a picture. Not only that it's not a need of the people, it's a need of the structure that has to be painted. Because if I can't paint this picture, if I can't paint this issue, then I cannot justify the cause. And if you know what I'm saying? And the cause is I'm gonna put niggas in, I'm gonna put the National Guard in there. So I need an issue that's uncontrollable, or at least that seems uncontrollable, because Alderman Dow here is individual. The third ward, you are boots on the ground. And if your city ever won a Super Bowl, then you will really know what boots on the ground really means. In this instance, like you called it, it's a pop-up party and gatherings. You call them illegal gatherings. If they're illegal, then you have all force to stop it from happening, to shut it down. But you don't. You let it go on. So you therefore got you. You want to outside looking in, keeping it concentrated. You already using what's the word I'm looking for? You're already using strategies of war in this concept. You are using it, and it's on full display. So don't tell me you can't do nothing when you already doing what you can do.
Right.
You can't stop little man from blowing out somebody else. But you right there though to address him, throw him behind the shits. Yeah, I mean, and get the other nigga medical attention or not.
Now let me play devil advocate, because our audience, I'll say about a good 70% of our audience is going to be of the melanated community, right? Maybe even more depending on what subject we're talking about, right? So here's where I got to play devil advocate. I don't know, man. I didn't see any, Caucasian pop-ups or Mexican pop-ups that looked it as live. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this on us as communities? Like, granted, so they looked like they was having a good time. They wasn't bothering nobody. We'll give them that. You know what I'm saying? But it still is what it is. Like, visually, like if we were to take this to people outside of our community, you think they gonna be trying to understand Lil Randy's mindset, or you think they're gonna be in utter shock and yo, what's going on? Where is the the paraphernalia, the drinks, the titties out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think they'll be in awe? Like, and don't get me wrong, listening audience, I'm not saying that this doesn't happen in other neighborhoods. I'm saying we're on Front Street, and we're also, this is what they're using in the media to paint the picture of, hey, this is why we're sending the National Guard. You see what I'm saying? How we're going to be identified as majority of the reason why this is needed, when these are like, okay, for example, if this video didn't exist, then I wouldn't be mad at nobody telling Trump to eat a dick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see nobody, I don't see no face, no case. That's what we used to say, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, but if we too flashy, we too ready to put all of our business on Front Street, and then it get used against us, whose fault is it ultimately? Is it our fault that they're using our images against us, or is it our fault for putting our images out there in the first fucking place? What came first, the chicken or the fucking egg?
Right. That's a double-edged sword. But I'm gonna go ahead and lean on, because we live in a society that we lean on, right? No matter how you display yourself, it can always be attacked by duality. You know what I'm saying? Because look at all these people right here in this joint. They having a good time. They smiling. They hanging. You know what I'm saying? Homies talking to the shorties. Shorties talking to the homies. Shorties talking to shorties. You know what I'm saying? And somewhere in the background, I'm sure you got homies talking to homies, but I ain't looking for them. I mean, so in this aspect right here, there is no definitive deciphering that can be done beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you've seen Gunplay show up in the middle of that group, yeah, Gunplay from Miami, if you see him show up in the middle of that fucking squad, right? Middle of that group, you automatically attention gonna be on Gunplay, rather you the police, rather you the regular civilian, or rather you the thug that's outside, you know what I'm saying, that's affiliated. Attention gonna be on Gunplay. In this fucking video right here, there is no direct attention for everybody. Everybody is in their own little world, and I mean that in the very literal senses. Little world, meaning there's 5 to 10 people in one spot talking amongst themselves.
Kids, man. Literally, they're kids, man.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I like the exposure of the youth right now, and I'm gonna keep it on. The exposure of the youth is so eccentric that you make them seem like they 20 plus. You see what I mean? And then for me, I look at like, yo, that's an issue, because I walk around this joint. I'm an 86 baby. So when I'm walking around this joint and I got the 20 plus community looking at me like, yeah, oh, you can't be no more than 25, 27, 28. I take it as a compliment. But I also sit here and look at you. I also sit here and say, yo, y'all don't even have a clue on, you can't even identify certain I ain't gonna say that's demographics. You can't even identify certain errors nowadays, because you niggas is too fast, and then the ops, which is the cameras and everything around you, is too fast to produce you as something bigger than what you are. You see what I mean? Like that right there in itself is, if you conducting yourself in a certain manner, now you just conducting yourself, walking about, you know what I'm saying, walking and talking about in a certain manner that folks can identify with a certain era of people, right? That you fit in it, no matter you do or not. I know hella high school niggas that got way more facial hair than me. Now we talking genetics. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, my son just started growing this little chinny chin and like sideburns. I'm like, oh shit, he ain't even 16 yet.
Yeah, I mean, gotta tell him eat some more monkey. It should be in tomorrow. But besides the point.
No pork on his fork.
Besides the point, when we look at this footage right here, right? Us moms and us dads, us those grandmas and those grandfathers, when they look at that, they see nothing but youth. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now take that same video and I show it to if I show it to Charles Schwab in Kankakee, he gonna see something different. because Charlie Schwab, because his youth don't look like that. His youth got Pikachu peach fuzz on their face growing. You feel what I'm saying? They got the Becky Lynch eyebrows and shit going on. Like it's
clowning.
I'm just keeping it 100 because let's keep it 100. The Neanderthal folks, all right, the European folks, their hair and shit develop later, and even if they are youths and they grow the beard as a youth, still see the difference, which is the same difference here. Yeah, I mean, the only difference is that the folks that you see right here, you see where they come from in them. You see what I mean? When they walk outside, when they leave their crib, they walk out the door, depending on what block they on. When they walk out their crib, all right, mom, see you later. I smooch moms, I hug dad, you know what I'm saying? Tell my siblings, piss off, even though I love them to death, right? I'm leaving with a smile. But the moment I close the door behind me and I step on that step and I walk onto the curb, the smile is gone.
Turned up.
You see what I'm saying? Because that is what the environment requires you to do. You know what I mean? We all know if you got a scrunch face, then the crown's fake. That causes wrinkles as you get mature. That causes
chill out, man.
I'm saying those permanent marks, they become permanent marks. But you can see in these individuals that they are outside right now, you don't see no scrunch face. You don't see no raised eyebrows unless they're looking at some yams. What you see is niggas.
Hey man, chill out, man. Hey, let me finish this video because you spoke on the parents. Hold on, you spoke on the parents. I want to show you this. I want you to finish this clip, and it's a parent.
Get some yams.
Nah, them niggas ain't 13, man. They passing out blunts and liquor, man. Them niggas ain't 13. They about 20. I'll say the youngest probably about 17ish or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. But check this out. Hold on. Let's finish the video real quick.
How about that? Yeah, like talk about the
Bronzeville neighborhood. It follows Mayor Brandon Johnson signing an executive order this week to avoid the Trump administration from sending the National Guard into the streets of Chicago.
Us as people, we can come together and fix it out on our own. We don't need no.
Now hold up. I ain't no legislator, you know what I'm saying, per se, but I'm pretty sure a presidential executive order trumps a mayoral executive order every day of the week, right?
Yo, I got these notes right here. You was correct. I got these notes right here that's gonna put it all at rest and shit. You know what I mean? Because we talking law now. Now we talking law. This is what I'm waiting to get to, be honest.
Man, listen, man. I'm only 40 years of age. Like at least 75% of my life has been dedicated to the city of Chicago. I have come from I was born under the Mayor Daley era. And, Daley ran the city with an iron fist for damn near 20 plus years. Like he ran the city like, a mafia organization. He fucked around and found out, right? Then, you know what I'm saying, we transferred into like Rahm Emanuel. That was following the successful tenure of, President Obama. So it was easy for him, Rahm Emanuel, to get voted in, and he run with the small hats as well. So wink, wink, you know what I'm saying. But then we transferred. We went downhill. We went down a super slippery slope when they elected Beetlejuice, aka Lori Lightfoot. I thought it couldn't get no worse. I thought, I remember, maybe 2-3 years ago with my pops. God bless his soul. You know what I'm saying. I remember arguing with him when, the runoff came for re-election in Chicago between this dumbass and what they'll call the white man. His name was Paul Vallis. Paul Vallis was part of the Chicago political hierarchy for decades. Like he probably got about, maybe at this point in his career, 40 years of legislation within Chicago politics. Now, can you trust him with your baby? I don't know. But when it came to running a city, I would have put my money on him. And I remember arguing with many people in the community, that look like us, and trying to tell them like, hey man, I get it. Y'all want to, run with this whole representation in these offices that we normally don't have them. That's all said and good. But this dude was showing his dumb assness, you know what I'm saying, every chance he got before being elected. And I would struggle like mentally struggle trying to understand why would people rather vote for somebody that look like them that they know cannot do the job as opposed to giving their vote to somebody that they know that can do the job. It just so happens to be it don't look like them. And you can't even use the whole play of, oh, we want somebody melanated in the seat when you just had Lori Lightfoot who was melanated and she ran the city into the ground. So you already had your turn. And on top of that, she was a black woman. And on top of that, she was a black lesbian woman. So, you know, she had all the woke infinity stones. You see what I'm saying? So she failed horribly. So you would think you can't do no better. And then they elected this dumbass. And he, like, I had, listen, bro, in my 40 years of living, I have never seen a mayoral executive order. I didn't even know them shits existed.
I feel
so when you see, so listening audience, when you see the title that says safety or stunt, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. And
I got the answer.
Leave it in the chat, leave it in the comment section, please. Yeah, tell me what city you from, and tell me if you have ever seen your mayor sign an executive order. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be, you know, lost in the sauce. I'll accept my L. But tell me what city you from, and tell me if you ever seen a mayoral executive order. Go ahead, Marge.
I feel you. Infinity Stones is crazy. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. She got the
I ain't gonna lie. I got that from my boy Black BCP, Black Conservative Perspective, man. I stole that from him. That shit funny as hell. I
got the woke Infinity Stones and shit, right? But the thing about the woke Infinity Stones, they ain't made from stardust and shit. They made from propaganda and bullshit, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because no matter if you take her or you take him, it seems on surface level, it seems like, oh man, y'all don't even know what the fuck y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Even to people when they talk about the president, like they don't even know what they doing and shit, right? Well, I'm here to say they know exactly what the fuck they doing, and these highly intelligent individuals got y'all in nostalgia, got y'all all in this beef talk, or I should say derogatory language speaking, because of you don't comprehend what the fuck is going on. You really believe that these individual seats is about the people. If you believe that, then you right. Then I comprehend you. I ain't gonna say you're correct. You know what I'm saying? I comprehend them when they say that they identify as them individuals not doing what they should be doing. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I'll take it a step further. If you believe that, I got a bridge and a letter to sell you, baby. Holla at me.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what they've been selling for years and shit. That's what niggas climbing up and never made it to the next level. Imagine that. If that's what you believe, then I comprehend the stance that those folks have. But for the ones that comprehend this, matter of fact, not even for the ones that comprehend this and for the ones that don't comprehend it. See, I'm shouting you both out, right? When you identify these individuals being in this political system and being in the structure that they are in, there is a certain design that they must fall in line to even go to a next level that they want to pursue. That's why I don't knock no hustle. If you're a politician, you gotta eventually turn your back on the people in order for you to achieve the next step. And guess what? You got to turn your back on the people again to go further than that. And then again, and then again. You know what I'm saying? People can believe that or not, but it's true.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're looking at these individuals, like you just said, you never heard of a mayor executive order. You're right. Who the fuck does that?
What the fuck does that do? That's toilet
Who does
paper.
that, right? Who does that trump? The police chief. The police chief already follows your orders. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Anything with a city,
even the chief of police probably looking like, yo, what the fuck is this?
what is this? Right? You see what I'm saying? It doesn't resonate. But now, if I take a step back and I talk to the homies of the Boule, shout out LeBron. Let's talk to the Boule real quick.
You know some bullshit.
I'll talk to the Boule real quick, start looking at them niggas. They're gonna say, yeah, you know what it is, this shit. It's just another ploy for people to look at. Like, yeah, they think we doing something. We matching his executive order with another executive order because people are naive to the fact and they believe that this executive order trumps the other one. But let's dial it back. Let's dial it back again. When I go back to my last little spiel that I had about 4 or 5 minutes ago, right? When we start talking about this situation, we start talking about law, right? Now we start to identify law. If you haven't took the time to look into any sort of why these things are happening, because when you start to look at the why, all right, not the cause of it happening. See, people get the cause and the why misconstrued. All right, there's a law in place that can be all right. I might as well just put it out there now, right? There was a law put in place back in the 1800s, 1880 something. The Posey, was it Comatus? How do you say Comitatus?
Yeah.
Right. That limits the president's power in putting in any military boots on U.S. soil. All right. But there's a contingency act to that, which already existed before that act even took place, which is called the Insurrection Act. And I think that's like 1805, 1807, right? Which then gives the president the authority to put the National Guard very specifically. See, people get the military branches confused. We know the Marine Corps, we know the Air Force, we know the Navy, we know the Army. Then they go, all right, the National Guard. And everybody take them niggas as jokes. Like, what are they doing? They just out there giving out water and sandbags and shit like that. Them niggas that they actually police everything inside of the border. That's what I'm saying. They actually police everything inside the border. That is their. They don't go abroad like the other four. They stay within the border, right? So there's very specific that the president has very specific authority to initiate the National Guards into states under certain specific circumstances. And those specific circumstances is only three. There's only three specific circumstances that you can put them niggas in. The first one is suppression of civil order. Basically meaning you niggas is out of control of this shit. You know what I'm talking about? You like the police niggas can't control you niggas. Okay. You know what I mean? And what did the alderman just say? We need help. There's too many niggas outside. Right?
Oh man.
What do you say?
What do you say? What do you say? Hey, okay, so look, we gotta educate the people, man.
Right.
The Posse Comitatus Act is a 1878 U.S. law that generally restricts the use of the U.S. Army and Air Force restricts the U.S. Army and Air Force for domestic law enforcement purposes unless Congress expressly authorizes it. I didn't see nothing about National Guard. Did you even say National Guard?
Nah, but see, that's the trickery. That's that act.
But hold on, let me finish. Okay, let me finish it. It also has exceptions, such as the Insurrection Act, which Margie just spoke on, and doesn't apply to other branches like the Navy or the Marine Corps, because the Marines will fuck your shit up. LA found out.
Man, lying. Them niggas are proud. They pop shit out of you, though. Proud.
Yeah. Though they are restricted by other means, the act aims to maintain a clear separation between the military and domestic civilian authority, but has been criticized for having loopholes. That for another word, Margin loves to highlight for you guys. Yeah. That allow for military involvement in law enforcement, particularly with the National Guard. So for everybody that's wondering, hey, can Trump do this?
Yes.
Take it up with the the statutes. Don't take it up with the verbalist or margin. You go knock on your congressman's door and you beef with them. But we know you ain't gonna do that. You
Right.
too busy, watching the NFL, and you too busy getting your fantasy football picks in order, and you too busy, trying to see what's popping on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
don't want no change. You don't
No.
want no change. You just want to be heard. But I
Yeah,
ain't
man.
mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Hey,
No,
so
we can't be.
let's do it like this though, because we gotta start wrapping it up. We don't want to cross the 90-minute threshold. We got mad more content coming your way, and this is gonna be an ongoing series, as you see from episode 1, and as you see from episode 3, and as the news is gonna continuously keep coming out. The National Guard is gonna be within the vocabulary over here at the Verbal Underground. So what I want to do to tie a ribbon on this particular episode, I'm gonna lead us back over to the website. Y'all go ahead once again, visit www.verbal-marketing, and I want y'all to check out the article. There we go. I want you guys to go over there, check out the article, hit the verbalism tab all the way in the far right corner. You're going to see the articles pop up, and it is titled National Guard in Chicago, Safety or Stunt. We're going to read the article. This is how we're going to do it too. We doing production as we go. You know what I'm saying? Season 5, we got to get back into the groove of things. And don't kill us for the long delay. I didn't see y'all, screaming out at Cam and Mace for their, summertime hiatus, or I ain't see you guys, beefing with Gilbert Arenas and all of them. So, we back, baby. Like, the fall is upon us. We back. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna, do the live streams. We're gonna give our raw thoughts, and then, we're gonna wrap up the episodes with an overview of any content that's produced under the Verbal Underground, everything subject to change, or the Verbal Marketing banners. So real quick, I'm gonna read through this article real quick, and then we're gonna have Marjorie send us home with his closing thoughts, and we'll shout you out from there. So yeah, man, let's speak about it, man. National Guard in Chicago, Safety or Stunt. Labor Day weekend in Chicago was supposed to be a celebration of summer's final stretch. Instead, the city was rocked by violence. 54 people shot, 9 killed in just 3 days. It wasn't just another grim headline. It was a gut punch to a city already grappling with its identity in 2025. The question now hangs heavy in the air. Is President Trump's push to deploy the National Guard the solution Chicago needs, or is it just political theater on a national stage? The numbers don't lie, though. Here's the paradox. Violent crime in Chicago is actually falling. Through the first half of 2025, the city experienced a 21% overall decline, with homicide down 32% and shootings down 37% compared to the same period in 2020-24. On paper, that's progress worth celebrating. Now, just for, a sidebar, in future episodes, me and Marjorie, we're going to break down literally what they mean when we speak about violence crime. Because yes, according to the statistics, crime may be down, but you got to ask yourself, what is being categorized as violent crimes, and how are these statistics being measured? So we'll hit you with that in future episodes. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. The Labor Day surge was a brutal reminder that while crime may be trending down, its impact remains devastating, particularly in neighborhoods already scarred by decades of neglect. Compared to other U.S. cities, Chicago's story is mixed. Portland, episode coming y'all way very soon, Portland reported a 51% drop in violent crime. San Francisco's homicides hit historic lows, and nationally, homicides have declined about 17%. Yet Chicago ranks among the nation's most violent big cities. Progress, yes, but fragile all at the same time. Now let's speak about why the National Guard. What is President Trump's motivation behind all this, right? President Trump isn't hiding his reasoning. He points to earlier deployments in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., where violent crime rates had dropped after guard patrols were introduced in D.C. Carjackings reportedly dropped 87% following troop involvement. He framed Chicago as the next blue city in crisis, arguing that residents are screaming for help. We talked about that. But beneath the tough on crime rhetoric are political undertones. Trump has tied the National Guard deployments to broader crackdowns on immigration and sanctuary city policies. Now, that we didn't talk about. We didn't get into the ICE factor of these quote unquote, National Guard deployments. But like I said, stay tuned. And Margin, if you're taking notes, you can speak about that in your closing remarks. But yes, a lot of this is tied in to ICE deployments. To critics, this isn't about Chicago. It's about flexing federal power, punishing Democratic leaders, and manufacturing a crisis to score political points. Now let's talk about the resistance, aka Governor Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson. All right, Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson see things differently. They argue that deploying troops would be unconstitutional without state approval, citing sovereignty under the Posse Comitatus Act, which we just broke down for you guys. Both point to Chicago's steep decline in crime as evidence that the crisis narrative is exaggerated. Johnson has gone further, warning that troops on the ground could erode trust in already fragile communities. Chicago doesn't need a war zone, one Southside resident told reporters. We need schools, jobs, and housing, not soldiers patrolling our streets. But let's speak about the divide of the citizens in favor versus and against. And please, listen to audience, do not get us fucked up over here. The Verbal Underground with nonpartisan. We don't rep Team Blue. We don't rep Team Red. We rep Team U. We're here for the people. You know what I'm saying? So if one party makes sense over the other, we have no gripe letting that be known. But we also not here for the foolishness. So miss us with all your, your political game banging. We all right on that. The city is split in favor. Some residents see the Guard as a temporary safety net, a way to reinforce CPD, deter shootings, and protect children. They point to DC and LA as examples that demonstrate how deployments can quickly stabilize neighborhoods. For parents burying loved ones at the weekends like Labor Day, the Guard represent hope. Now, for those against it, others say it's necessary, or others say it's unnecessary. Crime is already trending down. Military patrols risk escalation, wrongful detentions, and civil rights violations. Critics view it as a political stunt rather than a safety plan. A recent poll shows that 65% of Chicagoans oppose the Guard, though support is higher among Hispanic residents. Now let that sink in, because like we said, it's an ICE element within there, but Hispanic residents in Chicago, which is a nice sized population, they're nearly half in favor of the National Guard coming in. Now let's keep it raw and real. The streets versus the state. On the ground, the tension is palpable. Parents in Bronzeville whisper about whether their kids can walk home from school. Residents in North Lawndale recall years of violence intervention programs that reduced shootings by more than half. And fear of the Guard will undo trust built block by block. Meanwhile, thousands protested downtown over Labor Day, denouncing Trump's plan as authoritarian overreach. But outside Chicago, the story is simplified into headlines. Chicago violence spirals out of control. For many Americans, the nuance is lost. The simultaneous truth that crime is both down and still devastating. To conclude, who defines safety in American cities? This debate isn't just about Chicago. It's about who defines safety in American cities. Is it the federal government flexing muscle through troops and ICE raids? Or is it communities, the people, demanding investment in people rather than soldiers. The verbal underground believes this isn't a simple yes or no question. It is a battle between survival and sovereignty. That's one of Marge's favorite words, sovereignty, people.
Straight like that.
Between immediate relief and long-term trust. So we ask you, should federal troops ever step into local neighborhoods, even temporarily, if it means saving lives? Or is the price to democracy, I'm doing my air quotes, democracy and community trust, is it just too high? So drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you welcome the guard, or do you see it as an overreach? Don't just read, engage. Subscribe to the Verbal Underground for more sharp, unfiltered takes on politics, cultures, and power plays shaping urban America. All right, Margie, it's yours. What you got?
At that. Yeah, I mean, I'm piggyback off that with a few more bullet points on the Posey Act and the Insurrection Act. As we already went over, the Posey Comitatus Act limits the military use of police force in your local neighborhoods and then U.S. soil. The reason that is because of the distrust that they had in the military during the 19th century. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't know, 19th century meaning anywhere between 1800 and 1900, right? This act wasn't even presented until 1880 something, right?
Yeah.
Now contrast that against the Insurrection Act, which came out in 1807. So that means that's 80 years of the Insurrection Act was already in place. And we're pretty sure it was already not only in place, but also utilized during that century, or else the Posey Act wouldn't have actually came into existence, right? And I'm gonna go back to them. The three main points, or the three main triggers the three main triggers that the president has to enforce the National Guard or any other military, what is the Marine Corps or other military installations to be deployed into states specifically. These are the three specific circumstances. Civil order, suppression of civil order, meaning that the people are out there doing their thing. You know what I mean? And the local law enforcement can't control. We just got that from the alderman. We got that from the mayor. We got that from the governor. They said that the local law enforcement can't hold it down in Chicago. Okay, that's checking the box one. Number two, insurrection. Insurrection, basically insurgency, meaning that somebody outside of this scope is infiltrated into this regime, into this world, into the Chicago area, and is influencing things. All right. Now, what I've been hearing for the longest time coming out of the Don's mouth, I'm identifying specifically right now the Don's mouth. We've been hearing a lot of infiltration of drugs and cartel. Specifically drugs from Mexico and cartel from Mexico. Okay, that's box number 2 checked. But
man, not to cut your wisdom, but he not playing with that drug shit too. I seen a video today of a boat that traveled in from Venezuela that was on the waters, and they bombed the boat.
Oh yeah, I seen that, John. They fucked that boat up.
No regard for life, nothing. Like he's not fucking around.
Not playing. Like it was 7-8 people in that boat. They out of here now. Bye-bye. I said they didn't even know they was out of here neither. That's the crazy part. They just got them. They thought they was good. You know what I'm saying?
Super fan. My apologies.
No, you goody, because that's where we at. Because now the third one is armed rebellion. I'm gonna say this again. Armed rebellion. What is the nickname of Chicago that y'all don't like? Chirac.
All right. Yeah.
With Chicago's arsenal and gun blaze in the streets is identified right there in boldface as an armed rebellion. Our police force ain't got enough juice to go against these folks who have bigger guns than we have, which they have on record saying so. Oh, it's too many of them outside, which they're on record as saying so. So these are all three checks. He only needs one. The president only needs one, and he has all three checks in the box to enforce the Insurrection Act of 1807. So for those who think that is, it's a executive order, or is Trump overdoing his power? No. This is actually a law that's in place and by his authority can do so. As the verbalist mentioned earlier, that the Posey Act, the only limits that it has, it can be implemented by the act of Congress. You know what I'm saying? In this instance, it skips to Congress because we have all three checks in the box. With all three checks in the box,
fucking mayoral executive order.
Exactly. With those three checks in the box, the homies is on the streets. And that only applies to every other city and every other state, or any city in every state outside of Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is his front yard, his backyard, his side. That's his crib, so he can do as he deems fit. He can put the Marine Corps on a block if he wanted to over there. He can put all the military on a block if he wanted to. But everything outside of that will have to be necessary and actually checks one of these boxes: suppression of civil order, insurrection, or armed rebellion. And at this point in time, they are identifying to us that Chicago fits all three of these, whether it be true or not. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Boule for making it true. You know what I mean?
Let me keep it 1,000, man. Similar to LA, similar to DC. If he put the guard on the streets, I dare to ask, what are you going to do about it?
You ain't gonna throw a rock at them niggas, I bet. I mean, that's the thing.
And look. Now I like that. Even the ones that was, because I seen some videos, even the ones that was bold to get rowdy and throw rocks and things at them. Oh, you know they jumped out on them. And guess what? They got hauled on right to the station with the illegals. See, that's the thing. This ain't I'm disturbed by the presentation via the Lion Media that's trying to make this a black and white thing. Like, what the fuck? They there for the illegal migrants.
Nah,
at least that's the jurisdiction. At least that's the jurisdiction that they're using, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the most dangerous individual in the world is the melanated individual, male or female. So therefore,
I'm not debating that, but you show me one neighborhood in America where the melanated community is organized on some Black Panther, Black Power shit, and then I'll leave it alone. If they come to a neighborhood or a hood near you, ain't no structure, ain't no leadership, ain't no armory, ain't no, wives and kids, safe spaces, ain't no hospitals, once again, what are you going to do? Don't get in my chat. Don't get in my inbox crying. All the verbal is you want some cool shit. You hate, you hate me. No. I'm telling you, if you ain't willing to bust your gun to get it, or you ain't willing to, run up on your alderman and put that legislation together, you ain't ready to lobby, you ain't ready to put your money where your mouth is, shut the fuck up. Because all you're going to do is just sit on the sideline and watch on your television just like everybody else. When you're ready to get down to some business, come holler at me. Because I got all the plans necessary to get us organized, and we can go ahead and take the power back. But that ain't what y'all want. Y'all want a blanket. Y'all want a blankie. Y'all want to, y'all want some juice. Y'all want a comforting hug. Like, oh man, they bringing the people to my neighborhood to do what? To stop another kid being shot? I ain't mad at that. To stop another car being broken into? I ain't mad at that. To stop the fentanyl, bodies dropping in the hospital? I ain't mad at that. So whatever whatever excuse you want to use to make this a bad thing, make it count, make it make sense, make it believable. Miss me with all that, crime is down shit, because 54 bodies being shot, 9 hauled off to the morgue, I ain't with that. That could have been one of my child or one of my cousins or one of my uncles or one of my sisters, fuck that. It's about time. Y'all know it. I know it. We know it. If you ain't got a better solution, respectfully, keep your mouth quiet. My bad, Margin. I kept cutting you off. I had something on my chest.
Yeah, I mean, and with that said, you heard what he. I ain't got nothing to say to that, man. Shout out to Boulay once again. You feel me?
Yeah. We back, man. We spoiled y'all, man. We gave y'all. We were supposed to do 90 minutes. We gave you an extra 15, but it is what it is. We owe y'all that and more. The Verbal Underground. We back. Hopefully, they don't take this YouTube channel from us. You know what I'm saying? Margin, I be trying to tell them, man, every time we try and kick knowledge, we get shadow banned or flagged or just get deleted off the internet. But, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I got to pay some bread. You know what I'm saying? The powers that be going, like, show some love and respect. We back at least 3 episodes weekly. I think the next episode we spoke about it in pre-production. We probably we're gonna take it to the hip hop, and we're gonna have to address this whole Ratlanta Young Thug situation. I'm gonna reach out to the Queen Wendy. She has a beautiful written piece via her Substack account that we're gonna introduce to the people, and then we're gonna go ahead and just engage, man. We're gonna take it to the hip hop streets, man. So until the next episode, we out, people. Marge, just send them out.
You already know how it is. We leave as we came. Peace and love, yeah.
Yeah.